Hello friends. So today I'm super excited about what we're making because my sample one turned out so cute. Anyways, today we are making owl babies. I'm making them the rest of the stuff in your bag. That's what you're going to be using. And I'm just going to lay it all out. I'm going to take everything out so I can see what I have. I have a black piece of paper rolled up. I have a newspaper. I'm just going to dump it all. Okay, and then you could even use this bag for part of your tree later. Okay, all right. So I see that I have some owls. I have 3 different owls. They're just made out of toilet paper rolls. Okay, I'm gonna lay them here. I also have some feathers. They're in this bag. I'm going to save those for a little bit later. I have some little leaves. That's going to be part of the tree. I have some cotton balls. And inside of this little bag, I have a bunch of stuff. Let's see what I got inside this little bag. I'm going to just dump it all out. Okay. I have some stickers, stars, that I'm going to want to add as my background in a little bit, but not yet. I have a moon, a little moon, that I will also be adding a little bit later. I have 3 little pieces of macaroni. They're so small, you can barely see them in my hand probably. 3 little pieces of macaroni. That's going to be the beak of the little owls. I got some eyes. You should have 6 eyes. I should have 6 eyes. Hopefully I do. Yes, I do. Hopefully you will notice that there's 2 bigger eyes and 2 medium-sized eyes and 2 smaller eyes. Because in the story of owl babies, there's 3 siblings who are 3 different ages, it seems like. It seems about 3 different ages. An older one, a middle-sized and aged one, and the youngest one. I also have some glue, and you will notice I have a bowl of water, or if you have your sink nearby, that will be helpful because it could get messy. It could. Whenever you're using glue, it can get messy. All right, so the first thing I'm going to want to do is move my newspaper out of the way and move all these supplies out of the way a little bit. Actually, even before I do anything else, I'm going to see the cotton. I'm going to start stretching it a little bit. I'm going to stretch it so it's ready when I need it. Stretching it, not too much, just enough. Keeping it together, but stretching it enough. Kind of like that. I'm going to make a little pile of it. See how it starts sticking to your hands? That's why I'm doing this ahead of time, because if you try to do that with gluey hands, forget it. It's going to stick to your hands like crazy. That's going to be hard to work with. All right, so I'm just stretching it apart a little bit. See? And then I'm just putting it in this pile over here, out of the way for a moment, temporarily. I'm just going to do it with each of the pieces. Just stretch it. Okay, and then stretch it, stretch it, stretch it. I'm going to just keep doing that and putting it in that pile. You should have about 8 or 9 cotton balls to do that with. Stretch, stretch, stretch. So that's 4. You get the idea, right? Okay, so you're going to just keep doing that until you get all of them stretched a little bit. And then, that's 5, and 6, stretching, stretching, good. Now what I'm doing with this, what we're going to use this for is we're going to use it for the fluff on these little baby owls, okay? Because their feathers haven't all grown in quite yet. And they're just kind of like this fluffy, feathery stuff. Okay, but we also do have some feathers you will also be using. Okay, now, okay, so that's pretty good. I'll have 2 more pieces left to stretch. All right, so I'm doing that. Just do your best. Maybe your parent, if you get bored doing this part, you can have your parent help you maybe, or your sibling, your sister or brother. Okay, and for those of you that just want, you could just put them on your owl as a cotton ball too. That probably would work. I haven't tried it that way, but I think it might work. Okay, so now that my scene is prepared, I'm going to, there's a rubber band on my black paper, and I am going to unroll it, or I'm going to roll the rubber band off, and I'm going to unroll my paper. Now it's a little tricky because it's been rolled up so that we can get it home to you. Oops. So what you're going to do is you're going to try to uncurl it the opposite direction so that it will be more flat on your workstation. Hopefully this will help it flatten out a little bit. I hope it will. Okay, so there's that. All right, so now you're going to get your newspaper. Oh, I forgot one thing. I need a stapler. I don't know if I mentioned that, but you need a stapler. It will help. If you have never used a stapler before, you might want to ask for some help with this part, okay? The reason that a stapler is helpful for this stage is because this newspaper that I'm going to be using for the tree the glue won't hold it down right where you want it to for very long. It'll kind of be a little bit temperamental. So I think I'm going to go like this. So you're going to kind of keep it twisted a little bit. You could even just leave your rubber band on it if there's a rubber band on it. Some of them do have rubber bands, some of them do not. So I'm going to just staple it sort of together. You're going to want it to look like a branch a little bit. So basically twist it. Okay, and that's what the owl bags are going to be sitting on. Now with your other bag that all the stuff came in, you could actually put that on the side, but you can do that after. First, we're just going to make this part. I think I'm going to go about halfway up. All right, now I'm just going to staple it on here onto the page. Okay, and we can cover that part up later with leaves and stuff. But we're just going to kind of put it on here just like that. Okay. I'm just going to put it on there as best as possible. Maybe I'll do one more over here on this upper part. That might be a little bit tricky. There, that worked. All right, so far that's what I have. That's part of my branch. I am going to add some more branch here, but I'm not going to do that yet. Okay, so now your job, now you're going to notice that there's 3 different sized little owls. And I think what I'm going to do for mine is I'm going to start with the biggest one, I think. That some of the eyes have stickers on the back, and so you could just stick it to it. Now that's the only ones that are going to be like that. The other ones do have to be glued, okay? All right, so I'm just peeling it off. Silly me for getting stuff again. So now I'm doing that, putting both eyes on here. And there's the eyes, see? All right, now I'm going to add, I'm going to kind of squish it a little bit because soon I'm going to want it to be on this branch. I wonder if I could make this easier for you to see. Let me see if I could make it easier for you to see. I don't know if that helps at all. Maybe it does. Yeah, I think it might. Okay. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, this part gets a little bit messy. I'm going to put put glue right on the bottom fold. There's a little fold on the bottom where its legs go and where its body is going to sit on the branch, okay? I'm just going to do that first right here, and I'm just going to poke it right there. Actually, no, I'm going to poke it on this side. I want it to be on this side, I think. All right, and it's not going to stick right away because it's glue and it needs to dry for it to stick. All right, so there's one, but I'm just doing that so that I can get a little head start on this part, the gluing part. So it will be sticking better by the time we are done with it. Okay, so I'm doing that, and I may need to add more glue in a little bit to this part. So I didn't even put the eye on or anything, but I'm just doing it. There's no right or wrong way. It's just, actually I'm going to put the baby one in the middle. This little baby guy. All right, Bill. Okay, and I'm doing this one, and then I'll do the eyes. I know I started with the eyes on the first one, but that's okay. All right. You'll notice that there's little feet cut out, little claw feet. All right, so there's our little owl babies. Okay, so now I'm going to put the eyes on these other two owls. So I'm going to put a raindrop of glue on each side where the eye will go. And I might as well just put it on all three of these owls. Well, these two owls. Okay, now, like I said, there's different size eyes. So you'll want to get the bigger one for the medium-sized one. Like that. And then you're going to want the smaller ones for the little one. Okay, hopefully this is easy to see. So there they are. Okay, you see so far how they're starting to look? They're so cute, right? Okay, so now they get really cute when we start making little fluff on them. I'm going to poke a hole right on the side here because I want to be able to have somewhere to poke my feather. Actually, since it's still not totally dry yet, I can move it around and do it. I could do it. I'm poking a hole here. I should have done that 2 years already, but I'm so sorry I didn't do that. I thought about it just now. But I'm poking holes on the side because that's where I'm going to want to stick the feathers. Some of the feathers, or 2 of the feathers. I think you each have 6 feathers, so you can do 2 feathers on each owl, right in this, on the sides in those holes. Okay. Now hopefully this one's not too dry yet either. All right, there's one. See, this one's already starting to dry because it was the first one I did, but I'm trying to make the holes big enough for those little feathers. Okay, there's that and there's that. Now you can notice the little one's not too much smaller than the medium-sized one, but all right. Now, if you have glue on your hands at all from doing any of the gluing that we've already done, this might be a good time for you to rinse your hands. Actually, I forgot to tell you also, you're going to put some glue on the back of your owl so it will stick to the page. Okay, actually, I'm going to put it right on the back of this owl. Gosh, I wish I had better glue for you for this right now, or for me, because this glue is not coming out fast enough. All right, so I'm putting glue all over. It's okay if you put a lot of glue on here, that part. All right, so now they're on there, right? Okay. I think I do. I think I better rinse my fingers now or I'm going to regret it. Because I have a little bit of glue on my fingers now. And then I have my paper towel over here. Okay. Now what's going to happen is we're going to add the fluff. And we have the feathers, so we have to decide, are we going to do the feathers or the fluff first? I think I'm going to do the feathers first, because otherwise it will be hard to find the holes. Okay, so I'm going to take out my feathers. Now this part gets really kind of messy because the feathered fluff just goes everywhere. So you're going to find 2 that are about the same size for each one. So maybe I'll do, let's see, I'm going to just sort of see what I got here. All right, how many do I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I have like 2 really fluffy ones. Oh, these 2 maybe go. This one probably goes with this one. This one maybe with this one. Is that right? No. And it doesn't really matter this part, but I think these 2 go together. No. These 2 go together. And these 2 go together. Okay. So I think these are. No, this is going to go with that one. Is that right? I could try to cut them the right size. Okay. All right. So I think these are the biggest ones. So I'm just going to put some glue right on the bottom of it, right on that, right on the pointy part of this. And I'm going to stick it right in one of these holes. Stick it right in that side hole right there. Okay. And then I'm going to twist it so it's just the way I want it to be. And I kind of want mine to be pushed in more, I think. Okay, now be careful with this part, because this part might get messy. All right, I'm gonna poke this one in the other hole. I'm gonna do it very carefully. Now, make sure your hole is big enough, otherwise it might be a little hard to do this part. Uh-oh, my hole's not big enough, so I better make it bigger. Poke it right in the hole. Okay, almost done. Uh-oh. You may need a grown-up to help you with this part. That's because this part, some of the feathers are going to be easy to put in because they're very stiff, and some of the feathers won't be easy. They will be harder to do because they are very flimsy. I think this one's flimsy. And I don't have scissors right here, do I? You might want to have a pair of scissors nearby just in case you need to cut anything, like the bottom of one of these feathers. I'm twisting it and hoping that will work, but if it doesn't work, there is another thing you could do. The other thing you could do is you could just glue it right behind your owl. That would work too. In fact, I think that's what I have to do for this one because I don't have my scissors nearby. So that's all right. I'm just going to put some glue right behind it, right about the same spot that it would have been in it. Okay, that'll work. In fact, I could push it down more that way. All right, so it's going to be kind of here. Like that. T. All right, and then you're going to just kind of shape it where you want before it dries. And get the other feathers. Oh. Sorry, my computer did something funny. All right, and then I know I said to glue this part. I think I'm going to stick it right in that little spot. Glue it, poke it in that hole. I hope it works this time. Yeah, it did. Okay, good. Poke it in there quite a bit. It's best to poke it in as much as you can if possible. And then this one here. Again, I'm going to get some glue, stick it in there, right in the hole. Okay, and I'm poking it in. Okay, and there's that. That. Okay, then we got two feathers here on two owls. Now I'm going to add these last two feathers here. I got some glue on the tip, right through the hole. Okay, and this is a little one, so this, oh no, the little one's in the middle, isn't it? Okay, so that's all right. Some glue, and poking this one in that hole. So that one went in nice and easy. Some of them, when it goes in easy, it makes it so much easier. Well, gee, I wonder if that's why they name it easy. All right, so there's that so far. Aren't they getting cute? They're getting so cute. Okay, so now one of the things we're going to do is we are going to start adding some of this fluff. Oh, yeah. Wait, one more thing we have to do. We have to make a little bit of a hole right in the front for the beak. Kind of, sort of a hole. It doesn't even have to be a hole, honestly. It could just be glued right on there. But I'm going to make holes in mine just because I just want to make sure it rests in there just right. It's a little macaroni that we're going to use for the beaks. Okay. Now, here we go. I'm going to, now this is the part where it could get a little bit messy, okay? All right, I'm going to put some glue right in that beak hole on all three of them. And I am just going to start adding my glue. I'm just going to just all around. I'm just going to just put it all over this guy. Okay, as much as possible, as much as I can. I might even put some on his head. Now be careful for your feathers because you don't want them to get all gluey. So just do your best, okay? Now you're just gonna all around. Okay. And you can always add more glue after if you need it in certain spots, okay? So now I'm doing that. And I kind of want to spread it a little bit. What can I spread it with? How about if I spread it with this paper towel? You could use a paper towel or a glue brush or anything like that if you want. Now remember, it will dry clear, so that's good. But, oops, see, there's some more of this fluff going everywhere. That's some of the feathers fluff. Okay, so I'm putting all of this glue, spreading it around. All right, now if your hands are gluey in any way, this would be the time to wash them real quick. Okay, because when you're adding the other fluff, it gets a little bit tricky. All right, here's some fluff. I'm just gonna start putting my fluff right on my little owl. I'll start with this little guy. Oops. Whether you have glue on your hands or not, the stuff sticks to it quite a lot. So you're just gonna add it to it as best as you can. Okay, and maybe go up the right where the head goes a little bit. See how it's sticking to my hands? That's what's gonna happen to you too. I'm sorry, but it's just what it does. Okay. All right. Stretch it out as much as possible. Now, when you're pushing it down on the side, make sure to use one of your fingers that does not have glue on it. That would be the best way to do it. Okay, and then you're going to get some more of your fluff. Put it on all 3 of your owls. Okay, and I'm just going to use my water here so I can rinse my fingers a little bit and dry them. Oops. Because I am getting white cotton ball all over my fingers from the glue. Okay, now when I touch it, it won't stick as badly, but it still will stick. All right, so there's that. All right, we're almost done here, friends. We're getting close. All right, so far, this is how it's looking. So far, they're super cute. Aren't they cute? All right, now you can always add more glue after or more fluff in a little bit. In fact, I think I want some on this guy's head right here because he's one of the little ones. No, he's the medium-sized one, isn't he? I forget. They're not that different in size. They're very close. All right, so I'm going to put this on his head or her head. All right, now we also in your kit, oh wait, we didn't do that. I know what we need to do. The little macaroni, I forgot. The good news is that we're almost done with the gluing part. Now I know that I added glue in the holes earlier. Some of them are still accessible, but I'm just gonna add more because I really wanna make sure that sticks good. Right where that nose goes, or the beak goes. All right, so I'm gonna stick this beak right there in the front, okay? There's all my beaks. Here's one. And then the last one is here. So there's that. So I put the beaks on now. And now what I get to do is I get to add some stickers. So that'll be fun for like the night sky, the background. So some stars. I should have a big star. I have cotton sticking on my fingers still. All right, a big star and a few smaller stars too. There's like silly colors, stars. And we have one moon also. See, that's more cotton than we needed, huh? I left all the extra over at the bottom of my page. All right, so I have a moon, and I'm gonna put the moon out. Oops. But I wanted to make this tree larger with my other bag too, I just remembered. So first I'm gonna put the moon on. I'm gonna put the moon right up. Maybe I'll put it on this side. I have a feeling I'm gonna need it to be high. Oops. I might have to fix that feather because now it's in my way. Okay, so I want this moon to be right over here, right in the corner of my page. And now I just want to poke the star, stick the stars wherever I can. If it doesn't have a sticky back to peel off, just use a little glue, of course. And you could do it all over your page. I'm going to do this one there. And most of them are stickers, so you won't have to use glue. Sometimes the back of the sticker falls off. That happens. I'm just going to do it. I have a big star too. And you'll notice I'm missing the backs of 2 of mine. Now the reason I'm doing stars below these guys is because I think I might have made them too high on the page, and that's perfectly okay. It happens. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to suggest that when you're putting your branch on, that you do it down lower on the page, okay? All right, I'm going to put this right here in the middle, I think, this big star. And then, now I'm going to get that other bag that it came with. And I'm not seeing any leaves on them. Did I take my leaves out? Oh yeah, I do. I have them there. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to crumple it. I'm just going to leave my little tag in there even. I'm just going to crumple it like that. And I'm going to twist it. Okay, and I'm just going to staple it right onto the side of this page. That's what I'm going to do. Okay? Now, I'm trying to do this upside down so you can see. So hopefully that will work for you. Okay, and I'm just going to staple it right on, right at the bottom. Maybe in 2 spots. Okay? And I'm going to twist it some more. Oops. Wait, is that how I'm going to twist it? Maybe I'll twist it this way. So you can always change your mind and you can make changes to it before you commit to it. And I think I'm going to rip it right here so it kind of looks like branches or something. All right, now I think I'm going to staple it again, maybe right on here. And probably even halfway down. Okay, so there's that. And now I'm going to add some leaves to my tree, okay? Maybe I'll go like this. Maybe I'll have them just kind of coming out the bottom. Go like that, yeah. And I'm just going to add some glue to those. Okay. Like that. And that's not going to stick very well because it has a little bit of a background of plastic. But it might if I take it off. You could peel it right off and you can glue it that way too. I think I'm going to do that. So I want it to look more real. Oops. I think I will peel it right off of here. Okay. And you could do that too. There's that. And then you could just keep adding as many leaves as you want. You might have to find some leaves out in nature because there's only so many leaves that you have with your kit. Maybe one more. And I think that is almost it. Okay, so that is your owl babies. Aren't they cute? I'm going to show you the one that I made also. I made this one too. Isn't it so cute? I want to show it to you. And that is it. Thank you. Have a great day. Love you. Can't wait to see your owl babies.